Hello everyone and welcome to day 54 of the 1000 days of Nocode challenge. Have you got a notification or an email from your bank stating on this Sunday from this time to this time you will not be able to use the app because it will be on maintenance mode? Have you wondered how do they send these notifications or emails to millions of users using the application? In today's video, let's learn how do we run the backend workflow on list of things to save time on repetitive tasks. Firstly, let's understand what are the use cases where we may need to run backend workflows on a list of things. Let's say you're coming up with some seasonal offer, and let's say you want to inform all the users who have registered on the platform with the details of the offer. Or let's say you have some maintenance coming up, in a couple of days, and you want to inform your users that on this particular date, from this time to this time, the app will not be functional because of maintenance, right? We keep getting such emails and messages every now and then. So let's see how do we build a functionality like that. For that, we need to create a backend workflow just like we have done before. So go to General, select API workflow, and let's say maintenance email, right? Again, remove expose as public API workflow and then add a new parameter. This time, again, the key is user and data type is also user. The action that we want to take here is send an email, and this is user's email. Sender name is ABCD. Subject is maintenance on Sunday, let's say hello, and we can use user's name. We hope you are doing great. This email is to inform you about the maintenance activity that we have during this time. We regret inconvenience cost. Ritesh, so drop your own email just like we have done in previous cases. And now this can be run in two ways. I'll show you both the ways. One of the ways is from the front end, right, where you can add a button, right? So we have added a button, and let's make this as 45, and we want to show this only when multiple users have been selected. So let's add a condition, and this will be admin selected users count is greater than 0, greater than 1, but yeah, greater than 0. Then this element is visible, otherwise this is hidden and collapsed. And when we click on this, we want to send the emails to all the users who have been selected, right? So search for schedule, and we have seen schedule API workflow. Just below that, we have schedule API workflow on a list, right? Now, type of things here is user, because we want to run this particular workflow on a list of users. Okay, so it is asking you what is the list of users that you want to run this particular workflow on, right? And that is our admin selected users, which is a custom state that we have created. We created this in our custom states video. If you have not watched it, please do watch it. API workflow that we want to run is maintenance email, right? And it is asking you who is the user here, right? And this particular thing is the parameter that we have created here. Okay, so for this particular API workflow that we have in the backend, we have created user as a parameter, and it is asking who is the user in this particular case. Yeah, since we are running this on a list of things, okay, we have already mentioned what is the list, and here when it asks us who is the user, we can simply select this user. Okay, so how this runs is Bubble will schedule multiple API workflows on the backend, right? And if there are 10 users selected, then Bubble will run 10 API workflows on the backend. And this user means the user of that particular workflow. Okay, so like I mentioned, if we have 10 users, then the first workflow would be user number 1. This user would be user number 1. The second workflow would be user number 2. The third workflow would be user number 3, and so on and so forth. I'll show you in a while. Schedule date and time. We can generally make it as current date and time, but because I want to show you how this runs, I want to make it as plus seconds 30. Okay. Interval seconds, we can give a interval. Okay. Interval seconds, I'll add it as 60, which is 1 minute. Ideally, it is recommended to leave it empty as they mention here. But I want to show you what is the impact of adding this interval, so that if you want to have that feature for any reason, you can use this particular interval. Okay, so I'm adding it as 60 seconds. Let's see how this works. I'm going to the front. I'm going to log in as a admin onto the admin page, and the button is not visible by default. I'll select a couple of users, and now we can see the button. I'll click on this button, and quickly let's head to the log scheduler, click on show, and you can see that there are 5 APIs scheduled. And closely observe, the first one is at 106, the second one is at 107, third one is 108, 109, and 1010. This is because we have added an interval of 60 seconds, which is 1 minute. And that's why the first email will go at 106, and then we have an interval of 1 minute between each of the next APIs. This is what I meant when I said there will be one API call that will be scheduled for each of the users selected in the list. And you can see here the user parameter, right, which is what we created in the backend workflow, is different for every API call. And there you go. That's how you efficiently handle tasks with backend workflows. If you still have questions or need more clarity, feel free to join our WhatsApp community, where people just like you who have got started with Bubble learning and experts who have built multiple applications on Bubble get together, discuss, and clarify. Till then, keep experimenting, stay curious, and I will see you in the next one.